Elara lived in a small village nestled between rolling hills. The village was quaint, with cobblestone streets and charming cottages, each with its own unique character. The air was always fresh, filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the distant sound of a babbling brook. It was a place where time seemed to slow down, allowing the villagers to savor the simple pleasures of life. Her family's cottage was humble, but their garden was extraordinary. It was a sanctuary, a place where Elara could escape the worries of the world. The garden was meticulously cared for, with each plant and flower holding a special place in her heart. It was a living tapestry, woven with love and dedication. It was a kaleidoscope of colors, bursting with life and laughter. The flowers seemed to dance in the gentle breeze, their petals shimmering in the sunlight. Each bloom had its own story, its own personality, and together they created a symphony of beauty that was simply breathtaking. Butterflies danced among fragrant roses, their delicate wings fluttering like whispers in the wind. The roses, with their velvety petals and intoxicating scent, were the crown jewels of the garden. They stood tall and proud, their beauty unmatched by any other flower. Sunbeams kissed the velvety petals of giant sunflowers. These towering giants reached for the sky, their golden faces always turned towards the sun. They were the guardians of the garden, standing watch over the other plants and flowers, their presence both comforting and awe-inspiring. The air hummed with the happy buzzing of bees. These tiny industrious creatures flitted from flower to flower, their work essential to the garden's health and vitality. Their constant activity was a reminder of the delicate balance of nature and the important role that every living thing played in the ecosystem. It was a place where magic felt real. The garden was more than just a collection of plants and flowers. It was a living, breathing entity filled with wonder and enchantment. It was a place where dreams could take root and grow, where the impossible seemed within reach.
I loved spending time in the garden, especially with my grandmother. She was the heart and soul of the garden, her wisdom and love nurturing every plant and flower. Her presence made the garden feel even more magical, and her stories brought the plants to life in ways I could never have imagined. She had a way of making even the tiniest sprout seem like a wondrous creation. Her eyes would light up with joy as she showed me a new bud or a freshly sprouted seedling. She taught me to see the beauty in every stage of growth, to appreciate the miracle of life in all its forms. She taught me the language of flowers, the secrets of the soil, and the importance of patience. Gardening was more than just a hobby. It was a way of life, a philosophy that emphasized harmony with nature and respect for all living things. Through her teachings, I learned to listen to the whispers of the garden, to understand its needs, and to care for it with love and dedication.
One day, while tending to their pumpkin patch, Elara noticed something peculiar. It was a day like any other, the sun shining brightly and the garden buzzing with life. But as she moved among the pumpkins, she saw something that made her stop in her tracks. A shimmering silver vine had woven itself around a weathered oak stump. The vine seemed to glow with an otherworldly light, its silver tendrils wrapping around the wood like delicate lace. It was unlike anything Elara had ever seen in her garden, and she felt a sense of awe and wonder as she gazed at it. At its heart bloomed a single, iridescent bud, unlike anything Elara had ever seen. The bud seemed to pulse with a soft inner light, its petals shimmering with every color of the rainbow. It was a sight to behold, a true marvel of nature, and Elara felt a deep connection to this mysterious flower.
I reached out to touch the bud, its petals cool and smooth beneath my fingertips. The sensation was unlike anything I had ever felt before, a mix of warmth and coolness, softness and firmness. It was as if the flower was alive, responding to my touch in a way that was both magical and real. It pulsed with a soft inner light, captivating me with its ethereal beauty. The light seemed to flow through the petals, creating a mesmerizing dance of colors and shadows. It was a moment of pure magic, a glimpse into a world where anything was possible. And I knew that this garden with all its wonders would always be a part of me.
Intrigued, Elara sought out her grandmother, who was busy pruning the rose bushes.
Grandmother, look what I found!
She presented the shimmering vine and its magical bud. Her grandmother smiled, her eyes twinkling with wisdom.
Ah, Elara, you found something truly special. This, my dear, is the tomorrow blossom.
The tomorrow blossom?
Her grandmother nodded.
Legend has it that this flower blooms only once every 100 years, and when it does, it grants a glimpse into the future.
Grew stronger with each passing day. Yet, a part of Elara hesitated. Her grandmother had always taught her the importance of patience, of cherishing the present moment. She spoke of the beauty in the changing seasons, the joy in simple pleasures, and the magic in everyday moments.
Would knowing the future steal the joy of discovery, the thrill of anticipation? Would it make me take for granted the precious moments that made up my life?
Elara felt torn, her heart pulled in two different directions. As the tomorrow blossom neared its full bloom, Elara knew she had a choice to make.
I could give in to my curiosity, pluck the flower and unlock the secrets of the future.
Or she could honor her grandmother's teachings, embrace the unknown and savor the beauty of the present moment.
She looked around her garden, a kaleidoscope of colors and life, buzzing with bees and filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers.
She thought of her grandmother, her kind eyes, and her gentle hands that nurtured life into everything she touched.
And I knew in my heart what I had to do. I would let the tomorrow blossom bloom.
Section 6, The Bloom of Now.
The night the tomorrow blossom reached its peak, I sat beside it, my heart filled with a quiet joy. The garden was bathed in a soft, ethereal light, and the world seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. I had waited for this moment for so long, nurturing the tomorrow blossom with care and patience, and now it was finally here. Its petals unfolded like a symphony of light, casting a magical glow over the garden. Each petal seemed to tell a story, a tale of growth, resilience, and the passage of time. The colors were more vibrant than I had ever imagined, a dazzling array of hues that danced in the moonlight. The air shimmered with an otherworldly energy, and for a fleeting moment, I felt a connection to something far greater than myself. It was as if the universe had paused to witness this miraculous bloom, and I was a part of that grand tapestry. The energy was palpable, a gentle hum that resonated with my very soul. But I kept my promise. I had vowed to let the tomorrow blossom bloom freely, to let it be a symbol of hope and possibility. It was a promise I made to myself, and to the memory of my grandmother, who had taught me the value of patience and the beauty of nature. I didn't pluck the flower. I resisted the urge to claim it as my own, to possess its beauty. Instead, I chose to admire it from a distance, to appreciate its existence without altering its course. It was a lesson in restraint, in understanding that some things are meant to be observed, not owned. I didn't seek to unravel the mysteries of the future. The tomorrow blossom was a symbol of what could be, but I realized that the future was not for me to control. It was a reminder that life is full of uncertainties, and that is what makes it beautiful. Instead, I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, inhaling the sweet scent of the tomorrow blossom and the familiar fragrance of my grandmother's garden. The scents mingled together, creating a symphony of memories and emotions. It was a moment of pure presence, a reminder to live in the now. In that moment, I realized that the true magic wasn't in knowing what tomorrow held, but in cherishing the beauty of today. The tomorrow blossom was a gift, a reminder that the present is where life truly happens. It was a lesson in mindfulness, in appreciating the here and now. The future was uncertain, ever-changing, but the present was a gift, a moment to be lived to the fullest. As I sat in the garden, surrounded by the beauty of the blooming flowers and the gentle hum of life, I felt a profound sense of peace. The bloom of now was not just a moment in time, but a way of living, a celebration of the present.
Section 7, Seeds of Wisdom.
Years passed, and I grew older. The seasons changed, and with each passing year, I found myself reflecting more on the lessons I had learned in my youth. The garden, once a place of simple play, became a sanctuary of memories and wisdom. I had children of my own, and I watched them play in the same garden where I had spent my own childhood. Their laughter echoed the joy I once felt, and I saw in their eyes the same wonder and curiosity that had driven me to explore every corner of that magical place. The tomorrow blossom had long since wilted, its seeds scattered by the wind, but its legend lived on in my heart. It was more than just a flower. It was a symbol of hope, growth, and the endless possibilities that life offers. The story of the tomorrow blossom became a cherished part of our family lore. I shared the story of the tomorrow blossom with my children, teaching them the same lessons my grandmother had taught me. We would sit together under the shade of the old oak tree, and I would recount the tales of magic and wisdom, hoping to instill in them the same values that had guided me through life. I showed them the wonder in a ladybug landing on a leaf, the delicate balance of nature, and the beauty in the small, often overlooked details of life. These moments of connection with the natural world were precious, teaching them to appreciate the simple joys around them, the excitement of planting a seed and watching it sprout, witnessing the miracle of life unfolding before their eyes. Each new sprout was a testament to patience, care, and the rewards of nurturing something from its very beginning, the joy in simply being present in the moment. In those quiet times we found peace and contentment, learning that happiness often comes from within and from appreciating the present. My children, captivated by the tale of the magical flower, would often search the garden, hoping to find a tomorrow blossom of their own. Their adventures were filled with excitement and discovery, each day bringing new wonders and lessons. But I would gently remind them that the real treasure wasn't the flower itself, but the lessons it taught. The tomorrow blossom was a metaphor for life's journey, emphasizing the importance of growth, resilience, and the wisdom gained through experiences. These were the true seeds of wisdom that I hope to pass on to them.
Section 8, Lessons in Bloom.
The future is like a butterfly, I would tell them, my voice soft as the summer breeze. Chase it and you'll only frighten it away. But if you focus on the beauty around you, it will land softly on your shoulder. And so, my children learned to appreciate the simple joys of life, just like I had. They planted their own gardens, nurtured their own dreams, and embraced each day with open hearts and curious minds. They understood that the true magic wasn't in knowing what tomorrow held, but in making the most of every moment today. They learned that the greatest adventure wasn't in chasing the future, but in living fully in the present.
Section 9, The Everlasting Garden.